everyone, this is Karen.
Welcome back, everybody. I am Shane.
Today we're looking at part 2 of what's in a skyscraper. And the vocabulary words are engineering.
Engineering.
Think about the engineering that was required to build such an impressive bridge.
I'm thinking, hold on.
Okay, the second word.
Contribute.
Contribute.
Human error may have caused or contributed to the accident.
Concrete.
Concrete.
Hey! Concrete is one of the most widely used building materials.
Atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
People are causing global warming by polluting the atmosphere.
Not good.
Not good.
Someday.
Someday.
Marta hopes to see the northern lights someday. So we're still talking about the beautiful skyscrapers today, right?
Yes, but although they're beautiful, it comes at a cost to our environment.
How? I mean, they're just beautiful looking and they're very tall, and then the city looks wonderful. How is it not environmentally friendly?
Well, think about a lot of the beautiful ones. They're really covered in glass,
Okay.
right? And this type of a building makes it really difficult to heat and to cool. It requires a lot of energy to heat and cool them. And of course, that is going to cause problems for the environment.
So it's not that environmentally friendly, right?
And also, the concrete that is used, it is releasing CO2. And that's a lot of concrete in a skyscraper. So it's all the CO2 is being released into the atmosphere.
So I guess skyscrapers are not such great ideas after all, right?
Yeah.
However, I think people are coming up with different ideas or using different materials to make it more environmentally friendly, such as
wood?
That's right.
So where can we find wood skyscrapers, wooden skyscrapers?
I think you can. I think Japan is building one of the tallest wooden skyscraper.
Yeah, they plan to have the tallest one, and you can already find them in Europe.
That's right, some places in Europe.
So hopefully it'll become a global trend, and we can help to reduce or get rid of global warming altogether.
I know, that's a wonderful thing.
All right, everybody, do your part.
Okay, enjoy.
Enjoy.
What's in a skyscraper?
Even today, cities are building taller and taller skyscrapers in an attempt to lay claim to the world's tallest building. Modern skyscrapers push the limits of engineering in order to achieve that distinction. Buildings like One World Trade Center are giant shining towers of glass, built to stand up to strong winds and earthquakes.
Today's lesson is called What's in a Skyscraper? Part 2. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I'm Mike, and we're talking about those buildings that are so common if you live in a big city, you probably don't notice them or think about them. Skyscrapers, the really tall buildings that clog up the downtown area of most big cities. So when we finished yesterday, we saw that in New York they actually made laws to change the shape of the buildings, maybe make them a little pointed at the top so that the sun got down into the city street. So skyscrapers have changed our cities, and skyscrapers themselves have changed over the years.
There you go. So there in New York, they changed things. Yeah. Okay, don't clog up our downtown there.
We want the sun.
Build the skyscrapers, but let in the sun. Now, before we took a break last time, we talked about a competition to build the tallest skyscraper in the world, okay? Apparently, though, to this very day, people are still building skyscrapers, and they want to build the tallest one. Yes, even today, cities are building taller and taller skyscrapers in an attempt to lay claim to the world's tallest building. I think all the tallest buildings now, though, are in the Middle East, okay?
Or in China. I think some of the bigger ones are in China or will be very soon. But yes, these new tall buildings, wherever they are definitely stretching the limits of engineering. Or as it says, modern skyscrapers push the limits of engineering in order to achieve that distinction, that prize, that honor of being the tallest building in the world. Of course, they are pushing the limits of engineering. Well, what is engineering? Engineering is the art and the science of taking what we know from science but using it in the real world. It's okay to sit around and do complicated math and physics on paper forever, but it's only when we take that from the school, from the page, from the scientific book, and turn it into something real in the real world. That is what we talk about when we talk about engineering. For example, think about the engineering that was required to build such an impressive bridge. You can design the bridge on paper, but it's only when you actually put the steel and stone and build it across that river, that's where the engineering happens. So yes, they are pushing the limits. They are doing things that people in the past couldn't do or wouldn't think of doing, to do things that have never been seen before.
The Burj Khalifa, the Burj Dubai, I think these are two very tall skyscrapers that push engineering limits, and there's also a new one there, a relatively new one there in New York. Yeah, buildings like One World Trade Center are giant shining towers of glass built to stand up to strong winds and earthquakes. Yes, these buildings might be made of glass, but they can stand up to almost anything. The engineering behind them is just that good. All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a break, but don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。摩天大楼的兴建改变了许多城市的外观，市中心的街道变成像峡谷一样，建筑物挡住阳光变成严重问题。Michael 在开场的时候提到，很多市中心都塞满了摩天大楼，老师用到 clog up。CLOG 空格 UP clog up 表示堵塞、塞满的意思。那么今天课文第一句写到说，即使在今日，各城市还是纷纷新建这些越来越高的摩天大楼，试图要声称拥有世界第一高楼。这边有3个重点，第一个是用 and 来连接2个形容词比较级的时候，也就是比较级 and 比较级，就表示越来越怎么样。那用这个用法来修饰名词，则是强调越来越怎么样的什么什么。例如 More and more people rely on their smartphones for everyday tasks. 越来越多人仰赖手机来处理日常事务。第2个重点，In an attempt to 加原形动词，表示试图怎么样，尝试怎么样。那么 attempt 在这边是当名词用。例如 She went on a low-carb diet in an attempt to lose weight. 她进行低碳水化合物饮食、低糖饮食，试图要减肥。第3个重点 lay claim to something 在这边表达声称拥有什么，主张是什么什么。这个 claim 在这边是当名词来表达对某事物的权利或是所有权。例如 The woman laid claim to the ring. 那名女子主张这枚戒指是她的。好，那么课文接着写到说，现代摩天大楼呢，为了得到那一份世界第一高楼的殊荣，不断的挑战工程学极限，不但要盖得最高，还要能抵挡强风和地震等等。这边有一个单字是 engineering。Engineering 它表示工程学或是工程设计。那 Jeff 老师刚刚有特别提到杜拜的哈里发塔叫做 Burj Khalifa。哈利法塔过去10年来一直都是世界第一高楼。好，接回课文中。
What's in a skyscraper?
The beauty of those skyscrapers comes at a price, however. Glass buildings take a lot of energy to heat and cool, and they also contribute to global warming. The concrete used in the building's construction actually releases carbon. In fact, nearly half of the CO2 produced in New York comes from its skyscrapers.
Modern skyscrapers. So beautiful. So pretty. It's true. But the beauty of those skyscrapers comes at a price. However, the other shoe is about to drop.
Yeah, when we say something comes at a price, we're kind of talking about the negative side of it, the bad effects caused by, in this case, skyscrapers. So let's find out about the bad things about skyscrapers. And no, we're not talking about the price of them or, how much it costs to build them or anything. No, glass buildings take a lot of energy to heat and cool. And they also contribute to global warming. Yeah, not really a surprise when you think about it. But yeah, skyscrapers are big. They require a lot of water, a lot of energy for air conditioning and heating, and all that contributes to global warming.
If you contribute to something, you have a hand in that thing. You help that thing happen or to occur. So here, apparently, these glass buildings, they're not doing it directly, but they're helping global warming, like I said before. For example, human error may have caused or contributed to the accident. So maybe it wasn't the direct cause, but it didn't help, that was for sure.
Yeah, when we're talking about helping here, not in a good way, we're talking about being part of it, being part of the problem. And I guess in New York, where the winters are so cold, right, if you're heating the building, a lot of that heat also escapes out of those wonderful big glass windows, those glass walls. They don't keep heat in very well either. So there's a lot of energy being basically wasted in these skyscrapers. And what about the other stuff they make skyscrapers out of? Concrete. The concrete used in the building's construction actually releases carbon.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, like burning wood. Carbon will be released into the air. Burning fuel releases carbon, which of course is bad. Concrete, I didn't know that, releases carbon, especially I guess when they're building the building. What is concrete? It's basically that artificial stone that people use when making buildings. You know those big trucks? They have that big tub of turning stuff on the back.
Yeah.
A big drum, a big tub of stuff on the back, and then they pour it out, that gray kind of liquid rock. That is concrete. It hardens, it dries, it becomes as hard as stone, but we use it as a building material. Concrete is one of the most widely used building materials, especially here in Taiwan. In other places they might use wood. Here in Taiwan they use a lot of concrete.
Gosh. Anyways, it turns out that skyscrapers actually have quite a large carbon footprint. Yeah, in fact, nearly half of the CO2, carbon dioxide, produced in New York comes from its skyscrapers.
Not from the cars and trucks and airplanes?
From the skyscrapers. Oh, no. All right, folks, with that, it is time for us to take a break. But don't go away. We'll be back soon.
尽管摩天大楼再怎么厉害，它的美是要付出代价的。刚刚 Jeff 老师突然说一句 ，The other shoe is about to drop， 另一只鞋准备要掉了，这什么意思呢？英文里面有一句俚语是说 Wait for the other shoe to drop， 等待另一只鞋子掉下来，可以用来表达等待无法避免的事情发生。那所以老师是要说，不可避免的事情即将要发生了。我们来看看摩天大楼会让人类付出什么样的代价。课文写到，玻璃建筑物需要很多能源来升温和降温，而且它们也促成了全球暖化。那因为在建造这些大楼的过程中所使用的混凝土会排放碳，会增加碳足迹。Jeff 老师说的 carbon footprint 就是表示碳足迹。那它其实是指每个人啊、每个家庭或是公司日常释放的温室气体数量，用来衡量人类对环境造成的影响。这个碳足迹当然就是越低越好咯。好，我们再来看两个单字 contribute。这个动词它有促成、导致，或者是有贡献、捐款的意思。那么 concrete 表示混凝土。解剖课文中
What's in a skyscraper?
For this reason, some cities are beginning to turn to another material, wood. New types of wood are stronger, allowing for buildings just as tall as some glass and steel skyscrapers. Unlike concrete, wood traps carbon and keeps it out of the atmosphere. Wooden skyscrapers still provide the vertical living space a city needs while also being beautiful and environmentally friendly. Several wooden skyscrapers exist in Europe, and Japan is already planning the world's tallest. Someday we may look out at a city and see towers of wood covered in plants instead of today's cold glass skyscrapers. With a little imagination, the sky's the limit.
Skyscrapers, cement, steel, glass. That's it. Right? Wrong. Okay, we just learned that all of these things together, they kind of contribute to global warming. So is there a better way to make skyscrapers? I think so. It says here, for this reason, some cities are beginning to turn to another material. Wood. I'm not joking. Wood.
Wood? Like
wood.
What trees are made of?
Wood is good, yes.
A skyscraper made of wood?
Wood.
You live in it. I don't know about that one. But yeah,
Okay.
apparently new types of wood are stronger, allowing for buildings just as tall as some glass and steel skyscrapers. Now, there's something in that sentence that kind of catches my attention. New types of wood. Are they discovering new kinds of trees? Probably not. What they're probably doing is taking wood and through some scientific process making that wood very strong.
They can treat it.
Okay,
so that
now I get it.
They can treat the wood from the trees and turn it into larger slabs of building material. And you know what? This wood, this new wood, has a lot of really nice properties.
Sure.
Get this. Unlike concrete, wood traps carbon and keeps it out of the atmosphere, which is going to be good for Mother Earth. Now, here we have the word atmosphere. Sometimes people talk about the atmosphere of a place, how that place makes you feel, the tone of that place. Here, though, we're talking about air. The atmosphere is that blanket of air that surrounds the Earth. There's oxygen, there's nitrogen, all sorts of gases there. And not only do we breathe that air, but that atmosphere keeps the planet safe too. And yes, if we do pump a bunch of CO2 into the atmosphere, bad things happen. So wood sounds like a good deal here. It traps that carbon. How about that? For example, people are causing global warming by polluting the atmosphere. Yes, when you pump CO2 into the atmosphere, you're not doing anything good for the Earth. You are destroying the atmosphere. Anyways, more on skyscrapers made of wood.
Yeah, and as we read on, it seems like wooden skyscrapers might give us the best of both worlds. It says wooden skyscrapers still provide the vertical living space a city needs while also being beautiful and environmentally friendly. We need tall buildings because our cities are getting more crowded. Wooden skyscrapers will do that, but they'll also be very beautiful and environmentally friendly. And maybe I'm thinking in Taiwan and places like that, it would be good. Wood's more flexible. Maybe in an earthquake could be, a little bit safer. And if you don't believe us, these things are actually already out there.
Yep, several wooden skyscrapers exist in Europe, and Japan is already planning the world's tallest.
That's an earthquake zone too.
Wood skyscrapers are on the way. Yes, someday we may look out at a city and see towers of wood covered in plants instead of today's cold glass skyscrapers. So there you go, a wood building covered in plants. That sounds like a really awesome future to me.
It sounds pretty great, like something you'd see in a science fiction movie. But for now, this is sort of science fiction, and that's why we use the adverb someday. It's a very useful adverb just to talk about the future, but you don't know when. It's not really important when. You're just kind of saying in the future at some time. Someday I'm going to go to Egypt and climb the pyramids. Someday I hope to become a brain surgeon or something like that. You don't have a plan. It's not on a schedule. It's just saying in the future at some time. For example, Marta hopes to see the northern lights someday. Ooh, yeah, that's a great goal to have. We don't know when she's going, but in the future.
It's a good thing to put on the bucket list there.
There
Anyways, moving on. With a little imagination, everyone, the sky's the limit. So, are wood skyscrapers everywhere? Not quite yet. But you know what? They're coming, and hey, they might just save the day. Think about it, everyone. Okay, that's it for our article. But yes, it is time to think. It's time to ask and then answer the what do you think question. Hey, Mike there.
Yeah.
Would you feel comfortable standing on the top floor of a wooden skyscraper?
I would be fine with it, since the author says that there's new types of wood, and I would also imagine that the engineers would have tested it and designed it very well. I might not want to be on the top of any skyscraper in a big earthquake, but if it was a normal day and the wind wasn't blowing too fast and the earth wasn't moving too much, I would be fine with it. It would be okay with me.
Fantastic. Me, I'm scared of heights, so regardless of the skyscraper, I'm going to stay on the ground floor. Anyways, with that, folks, it's time for us to say bye-bye, but we'll see you next time.
Take care.
刚刚说到混凝土会排放碳，那这时候 Jeff 老师有提到2个相关的名词，一个是 cement。C-E-M-E-N-T 它表示水泥，还有 slab S-L-A-B 它表示厚板或是厚片，像 concrete slab 表示混凝土板， marble slab 就表示大理石板。好，那么课文接着提到说，现在有些城市开始使用新类型的木材来当建材，它更坚固，而且木材会留住碳，不让它进入大气层。这不但美观，也对环境友善。也许有朝一日我们会看到城市里面的摩天大楼，它是覆盖着植物的木头高楼哦。那我们来看单字 atmosphere。Atmosphere 它有气氛的意思，不过在课文里面它是指大气或是大气层。那 Jeff 老师在解释单字时有提到氮这种化学元素 ，nitrogen N-I-T-R-O-G-E-N 就表示氮。好，下一个单字 someday 表示有朝一日，将来有一天，是当副词用。好，那么例句有提到说，玛塔希望有朝一日能够看到北极光。老师说啊，这可能是在他的人生愿望清单里面。那么 bucket list 就表示有生之年要完成的事，人生的愿望清单。好，课文最后写到说 ，With a little imagination, the sky's the limit。发挥一点想象力，什么事情都有可能。那么 the sky's the limit 字面意思是天空就是极限，意指说天空无边无际，用来比喻说没有限制、无可限量，或者是有无限的可能。例如 ，You can write whatever you want. The sky's the limit. 你可以写下任何你想写的东西，没有任何限制。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
I am Holly.
Hello, everybody. I am Shane.
Ooh, okay. So today 我们的一会要自大解析的主题是兴趣跟嗜好。
All right. So the confusing words for today are hobby, and interest. So what's hobby in Chinese?
Hobby 就是我们的嗜好，我们业余的时候喜欢做什么事情。
Yeah, so I think a hobby is something that you constantly do, like playing a musical instrument,
Yes.
right? Or playing basketball.
所以它比较像是你固定都有在做的一项兴趣。
Right. So, for example, Alan's hobby is playing guitar.
Alan 的业余的爱好是弹吉他。
Okay, interest. What's Chinese for interest?
就是我们的爱好，或是其实也不一定是爱好，就是一个倾向。
Yeah.
对，
或者你是对这个东西有兴趣的。
对。
Right? So you can say I have no interest in shopping.
我对逛街完全没有兴趣。
Okay. You know what you should have an interest in? This should be your hobby.
This should be.
Watching live action is your new hobby.
Yes.
Got it?
Go.
I haven't heard from you in a while. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I've just been busy with my new hobby.
Oh, okay. It just seems like you have no interest in hanging out with me lately. What's your new hobby?
Bird watching.
Bird watching? I didn't know you had an interest in birds. Isn't that an old person's hobby?
Kind of. Maybe you'd be interested in it too, old man.
Actually, I really do have an interest in birds and nature, but I never thought about making it a hobby because I'm so young still.
It's not only for old people, silly. In fact, the group I go with has a lot of young people in it. You should join our group.
Maybe I will. I've been wanting to pick up a new hobby.
Cool. I'll send you the details.